In this video, we're going to be talking about multiplying decimals. And again, like addition and subtraction is not too bad. In a sense, you just kind of forget the decimals and then just kind of move on with life. And then we'll come back and we'll fix it later. So that's effectively my three-step processes. Count the number of decimal places between the two numbers. Step 2, completely forget that they're decimals and just go ahead and multiply them like you would any other whole number set. And then step 3, we're going to put those decimal points or decimal places back in the right area. I don't have a video that explains why this has to be. It has to do with fractions and multiplying fractions. So that's kind of where the extension of this comes from. Excellent. Excellent. Good job, boy. My son is deciding to do some stuff over on the side. Thank you, child. I love you. Please stop. All right, so let's pick up a couple of numbers here. Let's take 5.3 and 1.6, and let's multiply those. You don't have to line up the decimal points. You just need to count them. So over to the side here, we're just going to put maybe like 2 decimal places. And we're just going to kind of hold that in our head. Then we're going to take this problem and we're just going to completely ignore them. So we're going to multiply 53 and 16. Here we go. Let's see. Starting with the 3 and the 6, we get 18. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Bring down a 0. Or an x, if you would. And then 1 times anything is that anything, so this is just going to be 53. And then I add them together. And so adding them down the way here, I get 8 and 4 and 8. All right, so now, that was step 1. We marked the number of decimal places. Step 2, we completely ignored the decimal points and just went ahead and multiplied the numbers. Step 3, the number of decimal places that you found in step 1 is going to be the number of decimal places in our answer. So between the two of these numbers, they each had 1 decimal place for a total of 2. Our answer will have 2 decimal places. So start at the end, start at the right end, and count the number of decimal places over, and put a dot. You're done. I'm not kidding. That's it. So, and we kind of expected this. 5.3 is kind of close to 5. 1.6 is kind of halfway between 1 and 2, but we'll say between 1 and 2. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Our answer should be between 5 and 10, and a little bit more than halfway because, well, both of those are larger than their corresponding low points. And it kind of matches. The midpoint would have been 7.5. This is a little bit higher. Yeah, it works. It's good. All right, let's try a different one. Something like 7.6 times 4.875. All right, so now, not sure how you would like to do this. You can simply flip these numbers and make it a little bit easier on yourself, I suppose. But I'm just going to throw the zeros here, and effectively, I'm going to multiply 7,600 and 4,875. So now, even though I put these zeros in here, and you know what? Now that I say that, I don't want to do that. That might be confusing. So let's not bother with those. If you do, don't worry. Just throw a couple more decimal places on the count, and you'll be fine. We have 1, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So we've got 1 and 3 for a total of 4 places. Okay. So we start here, and we start with the 5, and we multiply that into the 6 for 30. So this is going to be 0, and then a 3, and then 5 times 7 is 35, 38. 0. 7 times 6 is 42, so it's a 2, then a 4. This is going to be 7 times 7 is 49, plus 4 is 53. 53, 0, 0. This has to do with place values. 8 times 6 is 48, so the 8 comes down, the 4 stays up there. And then I have 8 times 7 is 56, plus 4 is 60. 0, 0, 0. 4 times 6 is 24, so the 4 goes here. 2 goes up here. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2 is 30. And again, your columns should line up. If they do, then it's going to make your job a lot easier for this part, because I got to add these all together. So when I do that, I get zeros in this column. I get 10 for 0 and carry the 1 in this column. 8 and 7 is 15. 6 and 2 is 8. 6 and 0 is 6. And then I have the 3 that I bring down. And I need 4. Count them, 4 decimal places. So I start here and I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer would be 36.85. I can go ahead and just skip those zeros at the end because they don't change the value, so I can just let them be. Now, I need them there when I count my 4 decimal places. Otherwise, if I drop them here, then I would get 4 decimal places, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get 0.36. That can't be right because this is almost 5, and this is somewhere between 7 and 8. Well, 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 8 is 40. I should be looking between 35 and 40. That would be the good thing. So I have 36.85. All right, yeah, that's fine. So I would believe it. Anyway, that's multiplying decimals. There's really no trick to it. You just kind of ignore the decimal points and go to town. All right, I hope this helps. Take care.